Mike, I have to tell you something, and please do not laugh at me. Yesterday, I sat on my sofa for 3 hours, and I did absolutely nothing.
You sat for 3 whole hours doing nothing? What did you do with your hands?
I did nothing with my hands. And that is the whole point. But a small voice in my head kept saying, Stacy, you are wasting your day.
Oh, I know that voice very well. My voice never stops and it always finds me one more job to do.
So you feel it too, that little push that says you must always be busy.
Of course I feel it, but I like it because that voice keeps me moving all day.
And that little voice is exactly what I want to question today.
Then let's talk about it right now.
Hello and welcome back, everyone. I'm Stacy.
And I'm Mike. Glad to be here with you again.
Today, we ask one question. Is it okay to be unproductive? Is it okay to do nothing sometimes?
And my answer is simple. I feel best when I am doing things, so doing nothing feels wrong to me.
And my answer is also simple. Rest is not a waste, and you do not have to earn it. So let's really talk about it.
Let me start with my weekend because I am proud of it. I made a list of 20 small jobs and I finished 19 of them.
You finished 19 jobs in one weekend? What was on that list?
I cleaned the kitchen, I fixed a door, I answered old emails, and I even washed my car twice.
You washed your car twice in one weekend?
Okay, the second wash was not really needed. But at the end, I looked at my list and I felt like a good, useful person.
See, that is the part I want to talk about. Why do you only feel good when the list is full?
Because a full list means I did something real. An empty day feels like a lost day to me.
But rest is also something real. When you sleep or sit quietly, your body is still working hard inside.
Sitting quietly does not feel like work, though. It feels like I stopped, and stopping makes me nervous.
I understand that feeling, but I think we learned it. Nobody is born afraid of rest. In fact, I read a study that the brain keeps working when you rest. Your best ideas often come when you are relaxed, not when you push hard.
Wait, the brain works while I rest? That sounds strange because it feels like nothing is happening.
It feels like nothing, but a lot is happening inside. That is why good ideas come in the shower or on a slow walk.
Okay, that is actually true for me. My best idea this year came while I was just walking with no plan.
You see, you were doing nothing, and your mind gave you a gift.
But I still had to get up and use that idea. The rest alone did not build anything.
Yes, you are right, and I agree. Rest and work help each other, but you skip the rest part.
All right, but too much rest is dangerous. If I rest all the time, I will do nothing with my life.
And too much work is also dangerous. Have you heard the word burnout?
I have heard it, yes. It's when a person works so much that they feel empty and tired all the time.
Exactly. When you never stop, your energy is all gone. And then you cannot even do the easy things.
I know that feeling a little. One month I said yes to every job, and by the end I was so tired that I could not think.
And did all that work make you happy?
No, it did not. I finished a lot, but I felt like an empty box at the end of the day.
So the busy month took more than it gave. That is the thing I want people to see.
But where does this guilt come from? Why do we feel bad when we rest?
I think we learn it when we are young. At school, we hear that a good child is always busy and a lazy child is bad.
That is true. My teacher always said, "Do not waste time," again and again.
And our parents say it too. With love, they want us to work hard. So they teach us that rest must be earned.
So you think the guilt is not really ours, we just learned it from other people.
Yes, exactly. And a feeling we learned, we can also change. Slowly.
Okay, give me a real example because I learn better from stories.
Here's a good one. Do you know the story of Isaac Newton and the plague?
I know Newton, the science man with the apple, but what about the plague?
A long time ago, a sickness closed his university, so he went home to the countryside. With no school and no busy days, he did some of his greatest thinking.
So his big ideas came during his quiet, empty time at home?
Yes, the slow days gave his mind room to work. Some people call that year his best year ever.
Okay, I like that story, but he was still thinking hard. He was not just lying on a sofa like you.
That is true, but he was not rushing either. He had space and time, and that is what rest gives you.
Give me one more example because I really like these stories.
I read that in Iceland, they tried a shorter work week. People worked fewer hours, but they did the same amount of work, and they felt much happier.
Wait, they worked less but did the same amount of work? How is that even possible?
Because tired people work slowly and make more mistakes. Rested people are faster and they think more clearly.
Okay, so more hours does not always mean more work, and that is hard for me to hear.
I know because you love your long lists. But even a cat understands this better than we do.
Why are you suddenly talking about a cat here?
A cat sleeps about 16 hours a day, and it never feels guilty. It rests, it stretches, and it is completely happy.
So your big life goal is to become your cat.
In a small way, yes. I want to rest without that guilty voice in my head.
But wait, I do rest. I just rest in my own way, by doing a different thing.
What do you mean by a different thing?
Well, when I'm tired of my computer, I go and cook, or I fix something, or I go for a run. That change feels like rest to me.
That is active rest, and it's real, but it's still doing. Many of us were taught that the best rest is only a change of work and never just doing nothing.
Because sitting still feels like a waste. If I move from one task to another, at least I made something.
And this is why so many people cannot relax on vacation. They fly to a beach to rest, and then they fill every day with tours and museums.
Okay, that is me on every trip. I have a plan for each hour, and I walk 20 miles a day.
And how do you feel when you come home from a trip like that?
Honestly, I feel like I need a second vacation to rest from the first one.
Exactly. I read that many people come home from vacation more tired than before because they never really stopped.
But if I just lie on the beach all week, I get bored. And boredom feels bad too.
Boredom feels bad only because we are not used to it. Give it a day or two and your mind grows quiet and calm.
So you are saying that real rest is sometimes empty, with no plan and no goal.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. Not every hour needs a tour, a task, or a photo.
Okay, I will give you something honest now. Last Sunday, I made myself do nothing for one whole afternoon.
You really did that? That is not like you at all, so how did it feel?
At first, it felt terrible, and my hands wanted a job. But after an hour, I felt calm, and on Monday, I had more energy than usual.
So the rest did not make you weak, it made you stronger for the week.
Maybe it did, but here is the part I will not change. Rest is good when it helps me do better after.
And here is where I see it differently. You still use rest as a tool for work, but I say rest is fine even with no reason.
But there is a difference between resting and hiding. Some people say, I'm resting, but really they are running away from their problems.
Yes, that is true, and I agree with you completely. Doing nothing to get your energy back is healthy, but hiding from life for months is a different thing.
So we are not so far apart. You want rest without guilt, and I want rest with a purpose.
Right, and maybe the truth is somewhere between us. Rest is not lazy, but it is also not an excuse to give up on life.
So what do we tell people? Because I still love a full day of work.
I would say this. You are a person, not a machine, and a person needs slow, quiet time to feel well.
And I would add this. Do the things that really matter, but do not fill every hour just to feel useful.
That is a lovely way to say it, Mike. So, rest is not the opposite of a good life, it is a part of it.
But I want to be clear about my side. I am still team stay busy because doing things gives my days meaning and joy.
And I am still team it's okay to rest, because you don't have to earn every quiet hour. Doing nothing sometimes is human and good.
So tell us, everyone, are you like me, always busy, or are you learning to rest without guilt?
Tell us in the comments, and we read every single one. Tell us how you rest, and tell us if that guilty voice visits you too.
And Stasy, this weekend, when that voice says you are wasting your day, what will you say back to it?
I will say, thank you, but today I am resting, and that is enough. Then I will watch my cat and learn from him.
Learn well, everyone, and rest well too. See you next time.
Bye, everyone.